Hi, I'm Evelyn Japolit and welcome to Packet Tracer Activity 3.2.5 Convergence. And here's the learning objectives. View a converged network's routing table, add a new LAN to the topology, view the debugging output, watch the process of the network converging. So task 1, view the routing tables in this network topology. So step 1, click router 2, open the command line interface, enter, then show IP route, enable, show IP route, enter. And here's the output for the show IP route in router 2. And step number 2, view the routing table of the router 3. So router 3. Open the command line interface, enter, enable, then show IP route, enter, and here's the output for the IP route in router number 3. And step number 3, document the networks learned from RIP. So what network was learned through RIP? Updates for router 2. So RIP is ito 10.0.0.0/8 120/1 via 192.168.1.1 00 colon 00:00 serial 0/0/0 and connected to 11.0.0.0/8 is directly connected to Fast Ethernet 0/0 192.168.1.0/24 is directly connected to serial 0/0. So let's proceed to. So they're just the same in the router 2 and 3. Task 2, add a new LAN to the network topology. Add a new 2960 switch and host to router 3. So let's add switch 2960 and connect using the copper straight-through cable with Fast Ethernet 0/1 to Fast Ethernet 0/1. And let's add another host LAN. Another host which is PC number 2. That's the host number 3. And we will use copper straight-through cable with Fast Ethernet 0/2 to Fast Ethernet. Okay. And let's proceed to task number 3. Configure the appropriate IP addresses from the 12.0.0.0/8 addressing scheme for this LAN. So step 1, use the first usable IP address on this network for the Fast Ethernet /0/1 interface on router 3. Okay, router 3. So conft or configure terminal, then and Fast Ethernet 0/1, enter an IP address just copy IP address 12.10.0.1 and subnet mask is 255.0.0. Enter. Then, step 2, configure the host with the last usable host. Okay, last usable host is PC number 2. Let's configure. Okay, 12, the IP address 0.0.254. And the subnet mask is 255.0.0. And the gateway is 12.0.0.1. And let's proceed to step number 3. View routing table for router 3 to see if the network has been added as a directly connected network. So router 3, okay. So router 3's show IP address and show IP route pala, not address. Show IP route. Okay. And here's the output for the router 3 in show IP route. And let's proceed to step number 4. Ping from the LAN 3 host to the LAN host 1. So 3 host. So let's ping to host 1 enter. So here reply from 12.0.0.254 pinging 12.0.0.254 reply from 1.0.0.1 destination host unreachable pinging statistic 12.0.0.254 packet sent 4 received 0 lost 4. So let's try to ping here. Okay. So ping statistic in PC12 12.0.0.254 packet sent 4 received 4 lost 0. And let's proceed to was the ping successful in LAN 3 host LAN 1 not successful, but in last host pinging in last LAN 3 is successful. So task number 4, enable the pass Ethernet 0/1 interface on router 4. So router 3, not 4. So router 3. Okay. Router 3, config F, conf 3 or configure. Then int fast Ethernet 0/1, enter. Then no shutdown, enter. The output here link 5 trans interface fast Ethernet 0/1 trans state 2 up line protocol 5 up down line protocol on interface fast Ethernet 0/1 trans state 2 up. The next is step 2, view the routing table on router 3 to see if the newly added networks appear. Okay. Router 3. So and then show IP route. Enter. And here's the output for the show IP route in router 3. So let's observe if the output are the same. So here. So the output here are the same. And the question here is, has the network 12.0.0 been added to the router 3 routing table? So wala pa. Now, in task 5, number 5, determine if the network has converged. Okay. Step 1, view the routing table for router number 2. So router number 2, enable show IP route. Show IP route, enter. Okay, and let's observe. So here our output is the same in the guide. So has newly added network been added to the router 2 routing table? So wala pa. So task 6, turn on debugging on both routers. Open the command line session on both routers to observe output on both screen. Okay. So router 2, debug IP rep. Okay. Router number 2. Excuse dyan na siya, ha? Debug. No. IP rep. Enter. So RIP protocol debugging is on in router number 2. So router 3, debug IP rep. Debug IP rep. Enter. So router 3, so observe debugging output on both routers. So let's observe the output here in debugging router number 3. So sending VLAN update to 255 via fast Ethernet 0/0 11.0.0.1. Bold update entries network 10.0.0.0 metric number 2, network 192.168.1.0 metric 1. Then RIP sending VLAN 1 update 255. Okay, 255.255.255 via serial 0/0/0 192.168.1.2. Build update entries network 11.0.0.0 metric 1. Okay. So in router number 2, let's observe the output in debugging. So let's compare. Router 2, RIP receive VLAN 1 update from 192.168.1.2 on serial 0/0/0 11.0.0.0 in 1 hops. Okay. Sending VLAN 1 update to 255.255 via serial 0/0/0 192.168.1.1. Bold update entries network 10.0.0.0 metric 1. And receive VLAN update entries network 11.0.0 metric 2 man. So where is the hops? 11.0.0 in 1 hops. Okay. The question here is, has router 3 include the network 1, 2, 0.0.0 in updates to router 2? So, wala pa. Task number 7, advertise the newly added network. Step 1, advertise new network. Advertise network 12.0.0 with router RIP on router number 3. So router number 3. So connect, enter, then router RIP. Okay. Then network 1, 2. Network 12.0.0.0. Enter. So here's the output. So build update entries network.0.0.0 metric 2, network 1.0.0.0 metric 1, network 192.168.1.0 metric 1. So serial fast Ethernet. So ang una fast Ethernet, then serial duha ka fast Ethernet. Okay, fast Ethernet, serial fast Ethernet. Okay. And let's proceed to router number 2. So router number 2, connect, enter, then router RIP, enter, then network 12.0.0.0. Enter. So receive an update from 192.168.3255. Serial 00/0/0. Failed update entries network. So 10. Dito receive update. Okay. Receive update 192. So 11 hops, 12 in 1 hops. So 11, 0 metric. So hop metric. Okay. Network 168, 1 metric. Then 11 of 12 hops. Let's proceed to step number 3. Ping the LAN 3 host to LAN 1. Okay. Copy to host 1. Enter.
Ma, I tried a bubble gum, Ma.
Okay. So pinging 12.0.0254 with 32 bytes of data. So ping request time out reply from 12.0.0254 bytes 32 is equal to 32 times 11 milliseconds TTL 127. So ping statistic for 12.0.0.254 packet sent for receive 3 lost 1 25 lost approximately. So let's try another PC ping. Enter. Okay, here ping statistic for 12.0.0.254 packet sent for receive 4 lost 0. Approximate round trip times in milliseconds. Minimum for is equal to 4 milliseconds. Maximum 19 milliseconds and average of 13 milliseconds. So ping LAN 3 host LAN 1 was successful. Task 8. Number 8, turn debugging off on both routers. So both routers. So una. Okay, enter. So and no debug IP rep. So RIP protocol debugging is off from router 2. So router 3, enter. So and enter. Debug, no debug. No debug IP rep. So RIP protocol debugging is off. Task 9, determine if the network has converged. Step 1, view the routing table for router 2. So, router 2, show IP route. Show IP route, enter. So, naman yapon. So, di na siya makita. Dito. Connected 10.0.0.0.0/8 directly connected to fast Ethernet 0/0 router or RIP 11.0.0.0/8 120/1 via 192.168.1.2.0.0:00:20 serial 0/0/0 12.0.0.0/8 120/1 via 192.168.1.2.00:20 serial 0/0/0 and connected to 192.168.1.0/24 is directly connected to serial 0/0/0. Has network been added to router 2 routing table? So, anong answer? What steps needed to be taken in order for the newly added network? So, the step that needed that taken is task number 7, advertise newly added network. Step 1, advertise network 12.0.0.0 with router RIP on router 3. So that's the step. Router RIP and network 12.0.0. So that's all for this activity, and thank you. Hope you learned. See you in next video.